O's on his way. Ed's probably on his way. Let's call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Bixler,
Yes.
Firth,
Yes.
Holder, present.
Thank you. Let's do item 3, and after item 3, we're going to drop down and do 8 and 9 to accommodate the press. And so let's look at item 3. Bob, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, we're going to look at the minutes.
Ian's not looking.
Hello, Ed.
Oh, Mr. Ed.
I approve the minutes.
That's all right. I heard the hot water works. I heard that. You got a tough neighbor though. Okay,
Is there a second?
can I second? Okay.
Bob,
Yeah, he can.
Yes.
I mean, you can.
you okay with the minutes? Can you second?
I'll second.
All right. We have a motion and a second through the minutes of the previous meeting. Roll call.
Bixler,
Yes.
Firth,
Yes.
Sutter,
Yes.
Holder, yes.
Okay, we're going to move down to item 8, and that is the finance report. And we'll go back into entertain a motion for executive session. Todd, I'll turn the floor over to you.
You can look at it as long as you want to. The moral of the story is if you will look at total checking and savings, that's the total amount we have. The insurance claims, and that's on the building, $45,000. We have repairs and maintenance accrued of $101.
And then that 54,700, is that ARRPA accrued payment?
It's just an accrued payment that we put together. We
And,
don't have any other liabilities.
and when will that be paid off? Do we know?
No, it is, everything's paid.
So it's been accrued, we just need to write them a check, is that what you're telling me?
No, there's no, it was that payment, that was just accrued in there, but that was it has been, we don't owe it anymore.
Okay.
It's just categorized.
So what we have in our checking account is 16,000, is that correct?
Well, that's, the total we have in the checking is $374,091.18. Those other allocated funds are just what we've allocated into. So we always like to look at that $16,726.80 as extra funds that were unallocated funds, and that's still true. But we have a good sum in repairs and maintenance in the event that we need to move. I think the key that we want to make sure we understand is that the only liability we have is unearned income that's been prepaid for. Lease money.
What about trains or anything cars coming in, Todd, or?
We haven't had any trains. And don't have any scheduled that I know of. Mark Marietta's gonna be at the turkey hunt, and I have an opportunity to visit with them. So, see what's on their plate, but we don't have any, as far as I know, we don't have anything scheduled.
Okay. Bob, you have any questions?
I do not. I do not.
Now, those GO bonds that county commissioner's gonna help us with, has that all been,
They've been satisfied, and the county commissioners, the rest of the payment that they had, that we owed them, that they prepaid for us when we originally started this, have been forgiven by the county commissioners in the, so that we can seek economic development parties to work towards development of the park.
now is that 2083, is that emblem there on page 1, or where's the liabilities?
And I think it's unearned income, and I believe it's in prepaid rent, is what I think that is.
Is that, or did Mark Marietta pay?
I don't think they did.
And well, I'm thinking, right, does Emblem's contract expires in May?
In May,
Okay.
6-month portion.
Have no further questions. I move to approve the financials.
Okay,
And thank Todd again for his hard work.
Not me.
do we have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bob. It's been moved and seconded to approve the finance report. Roll call.
Hicks,
Yes.
Firth,
Yay.
Sutter,
Yes.
Holder, yes.
Okay, item number 9, Neil, is your spot on the agenda.
The group came and inspected the track today out at Avard. They found 2 switches that need some work done on. I haven't had time to copy the pictures and get you the stuff, but I'll do that. If you'll give me an opportunity to do that next week, I'll get it to you.
Anything more than lubrication and cleaning?
Yes. One at the end's coming up, so they're gonna have to put spike it back down. The other one had some dirt packed under it, and it was causing issues trying to switch it, so they're gonna fix.
Estimate of, do they have an estimate?
I haven't given you an estimate yet. I got that about 5 o'clock.
This is Track Works, right?
Yes. So, that's where we're at on that. I do have a company coming either Monday or Wednesday, he'll let me know, to look at a building here in town and possibly move their company from Oregon to here. So, it'll employ approximately 20 people, and had several RFPs, basically too big. We have a turkey hunt, and hope you all can be there. As you know, it's a little different look this year. Most of the people coming have a direct project that they're working on in the community or the county. For example, Jill's gonna be here, but she's going hunting, so don't bother her in the morning or in the evening.
Hope I get a turkey, we'll see. We can only get one legally.
Well, and this year you may not even see one.
I know, I've heard the populations aren't great.
It has been bad, but our guides are gonna do their very best. We've had guides, a lot of them retired this year. Had been doing it like.
I didn't know they
30
were allowed to retire.
Well, they're not supposed to. We've had, some of them been at it 33 years and they said, hey, let the young guys do it. Well, they didn't tell us that until it was too late to find the young guys. So, but it's working out. I don't know how, because we should have been 3 guests per guide this year. And somehow I think most anybody has to take us 2. So, we have great volunteers, so it'll all turn out. And I'll just tell you, I went out 3 o'clock. I met a group. We set up the tables and put on the tablecloths and everything. My wife called, and I said, "Honey, we've got all the tables set up, chairs put out, tablecloths are on." And she goes, "What?" She goes, "Stop where you are right now." And she shot out there, so I don't know what they've done because I left. But
Smart man.
yeah, I'm gonna stay out. I told them all. I said, "I guarantee you she'll come out and she'll rearrange." So everybody left. But
Well,
anyway,
She knew.
I can tell you if it wasn't for her, I would have been in trouble because a lot of this I helped with 20, 21 years, but I only had a little bitty section I found out, not the important part. So she's been great. And I think that is, there's a new manufacturing portal out there that the state came up with. And so if you see anybody that manufactures anything in the county, tell them to get a hold of me. They need to get on that portal and put their information in there. Because if a company's looking for something, everybody in the state's gonna be on it. So if they have a specific thing they do, they can pull it up and then see all the different companies that do that particular work. And I think that's a great thing for the state. Also, if they use something, these manufacturers, they can get on there and see who supplies that kind of stuff. So, it's gonna be a great tool. So, if you have anybody, be sure and let them know. And that's all I have.
Is the lieutenant governor coming?
He is coming, he'll be here Thursday evening. Which is better than Friday at noon. Which was what they sent me first. And I said, no sense in having him come, because I said everybody would be gone. So they rearranged the schedule and he's coming Thursday evening. So.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Well, and now they've added the 2 other communities, so he has to make more stops than they used to. So.
Okay, 2 things he was scheduled to be at, he didn't make either one of them.
What do you mean 2 other communities?
Pawnee and Ardmore. See, at the start of this thing, 2 of them weren't going to be able to participate, which was Pawnee and Elk City, because Pawnee, the groups disbanded. So, and in Pawnee or Elk City, all the city people and chamber and economic development people were all let go. So they didn't know, but anyway, a group picked it up and they're gonna sponsor it now, so.
Okay,
But we have 25 guests coming, which we were gonna keep it a lot smaller. Well, it still ended up, and it is smaller because we usually have 30 to 36, so anyway, I hope all of you will come out both nights if you can, because we'll need assistance with our guests, right, Jill?
Sure.
Okay,
Can't do all the entertaining.
that's right.
So if we have an RSVP, can we still do that?
Yes, we don't. You know how many RSVPs we got? About 12. out of
People don't do it anymore. So,
100 and some that we sent out. So we have never worried about our SVPs. We just plan for X number and go from there. So,
Okay, well, we'll probably, let's see. There's really no rhyme and reason on those nights, Wednesday over Thursday, or Thursday over Wednesday, right, other than lieutenant governor, correct?
that's the only difference. We'll be
Okay.
doing the same, eating and handing out prizes and
See, what time does that start tomorrow evening?
anytime you get there. Because they'll sit around and talk and shoot breeze from 4:30 to
What time is your,
meal. They usually schedule the meals around 7:30. But
okay,
Neil, I do have one question on the repair, the switches and the repair, depending on the urgency of what TrackWorks is telling us, we have a contract with them. Generally, their rates are pretty reasonable. Mr. Chairman, I guess I'd make a motion that if that estimate comes in less than $7,500 for repair of those switches, and they see that that's urgent, I'd make a motion that we authorize that to be repaired. We don't have a lot of trains coming in, but the switches are the most important part of our track, and we certainly don't want to have them be in disrepair. We have money allocated for that if we need it, so I'll make that motion.
okay, do we need to do that in a new business deal, or
yeah, and that's where I got it.
can we table that motion to a new business? Okay, all right, we're gonna let the press go at this time. They've got some other things they need to take care of, so we agreed to move those two items. And then we'll entertain a motion to go into executive session at this time.
So move.
Do we have- Been moved and seconded and move into executive session, roll call.
Bixler,
Yes.
Sutter,
Yes.
Holder,
Yes.
Poe, yes.